Hi, I'm Kyle Huestis, factory backcountry rider for Articat snowmobiles, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of my insight and review on this 600 Catalyst. I've got about 800 miles, so pretty much, a good portion of the season on and off of it. Really like the sled. They've completely changed the ergonomics of it. It feels like you're standing up over the skis. The steering is completely changed. Yeah, it's playful. You can do bow ties, and it's a 600. It's very light, very easy to maneuver. The steering doesn't push. Yeah, it goes where you want it to. It holds the side hill very well, even when you're crossing other folks' tracks. Um, yeah, it works very well in all conditions. Even in the spring snow, you don't get the wash. They achieved that by changing some stuff in the suspension, which I'll get into here in depth further. But overall, extremely excited to ride this sled next year. I'll likely be doing, some high compression, exhaust, clutching, things like that with Speedworks. But aside from that, this is everything you want and everything I've been doing to sleds in the past. It's got a factory belt drive on it. The tunnel is cut, chopped, and tapered. Things that we've been doing to them. They've really thought it out on this sled. The steering post now is like a one-piece. Essentially, it's got a yoke up here, much like you'd see on a truck driveline. It goes directly down out to the tie rods, making the steering just easy, and you don't get near the feedback either in the handlebars, and you don't get the Articat shake that they typically had with all the different linkages going on in the other models, like the legacy models. Yeah, as you can see, the spindle profile has changed. It's now a shorter spindle profile, and the A-arms are now swept back more. This really makes getting into a steep slope or grade, makes the initiation into that very easy. This is an all new chassis. This isn't something that Cat has just added parts to an older bulkhead. The bulkhead is all new, tubular, and a three-piece. Taken the motor, they've moved it back and rolled it, and they're using a different intake system right here that essentially comes out of the throttle bodies vertically and then back to here where you're drawing outside cold air. Does have trapdoors underneath should those vents ever get plugged. Haven't had an issue with them plugging though. Also haven't had an issue poking holes in them. I thought maybe that would be something, but it seems like they got the deflection right. I'm a tree rider. They don't have any holes. They're working well. As you can see, the running boards are now a composite. That might not be for everybody, which is okay. Articat already has some aluminum aftermarket boards that will work with these. Super easy to swap out. Much easier than the other style. If you've ever cut off a set of running boards, you know it's terrifying. These are very easy. These are bolt-on here, here, and up here. You can swap them out in no time flat. I think it would also be easy if you decided to run like a set of BM Fab running boards. You could swap them out once those are designed. Back here, as I mentioned before, you can see the tapered tunnel. That really helps with snow clean out. You don't get a bunch of snow built in there when you're starting to get stuck. And it's been chopped. Smaller snow flap, all essentially for helping not get stuck, and high center, because essentially when your tunnel digs down, it's your tunnel holding your track out of the snow that's getting you stuck. I spoke earlier, they seem like when you come across now on a super steep side hill, even cutting somebody's track on a super steep side hill, or in like slick, icy spring conditions, it doesn't wash as much anymore. Even though we're still running the Alpha rail, they've changed the front suspension arm here, so it's now lengthened along with the limiter strap and the front shock. So this made it very playful, very light in the front, as you will, and changes the attack angle, which makes it get up on top of the surface very fast that it's on. Yeah, and along with that, it just doesn't seem to want to wash due to that longer arm in there. I love the new seat on it. It's shorter. It's a little bit more firm. Back here, it's easier to swing your legs back and forth between when you're doing hopovers. Yeah, the ergonomics. They changed the tether location so that you're not pulling your tether out when you start your snowmobile. Love that. Yeah, it's an overall amazing sled. If you get a chance to ride one of these this next season, I'd highly advise you do. And be watching out for that higher displacement motor coming out this next season.